Hello everyone, my name's Stonesy Boy, and welcome to, sadly, the final episode of Minecraft, Zombies Return. Today we are reading chapters 33 to 36, and possibly the epilogue if I have enough breath. We're most likely going to read the epilogue, I don't know what I'm saying, it's only going to be like 2 pages, I think. But yeah, we're reading chapters 33 to 36 and pages 182 to 199. As sad as it is to finish this book off, it is actually kind of nice to finish a book. This book, because it's been a while coming. This book came out a year ago, and I got it around the first couple days that it came out. I was supposed to finish it really early, but I got distracted by other books, and this one never came to fruition. So, yeah, it's kind of nice to finally finish this book. Finally put it back in its little hidey hole, and, finally put a finishing date on my bookmark here. Now, actually, I don't think I've said this in a reading video, but I want to make bookmarks depending on the next 6 kid videos and the next 6 more adult-themed videos I have. So, of course, for the first one, it's going to be this one. I'll talk about it more at the end of the episode. What am I doing? But, yeah. So, without further ado, let us begin the beginning of the end. Chapter 33. As soon as she stepped through the portal and returned to the overworld, Bobby knew that Peggy had broken her promise to them. Shane had zombified Piglin was soaking wet as if doused with a potion, and then Peg had approaching Shane, a golden apple in her hand. "What are you doing?" cried Bobby. Peg glared at the zombie over his shoulder. "That was fast, but not fast enough, dear." As Bobby watched, Peg fed the golden apple to Johnny's golden apple to Shane. They all stood there watching, and Bobby held her breath. Even Johnny would seem to sense a crucial moment. But the moment passed, nothing happened. Did it? It didn't work, Peg. "It didn't work," Peg said sadly. "Piglin biology must be too different," Peg guessed. "Which means you wasted a cure that could have given to Johnny," Bobby said. "I didn't make more," Peg said distractedly. "I'm sure I have all the ingredients around here somewhere." "We're out of time," said Ben. He pointed at a nearby window. From the upper floor, Bobby had a clear view of the chasm around Peg's bastion. Logan clearly done constructing of a new bridge. Only it wasn't Logan doing the labor, it was other Ben. The boy was fiercely laying down blocks of stone, crafting a bridge so wide that Logan could be able to march his zombie across the great mass of the undead bodies. "I think other Ben is the key to resolving this," said Bobby. He turned to face Ben. "Logan's terrible to him, and other Ben knew I was following them. He could have turned me over to Logan on multiple occasions, and he didn't." "It's worth a shot," Ben agreed. "I mean, if it sort of worked with Hatchet and Flip." "As for you," said Bobby, he turned to Ben, "I thought you were different, but you're just like every other adventurer I've ever met." He tossed a soul sand on the ground. "If you want us to delay Logan, then use it. Otherwise, I suggest you stay out of our way." Peg looked guilty. Even her golden arbor seemed to shine a little less brightly. "I'll help you," she said. "I just want to streak past Logan and talk to that other boy. Take this." Ben's jaw dropped and opened as Peg extended an item towards Bobby. "Are those what I think they are?" she asked. "Elytra," confirmed Peg. Bobby looked at Peg and Ben back again. "I don't know what that means," she said. "They're wings," said Ben. "You can glide through the air with those." "Their range is limited," Peg warned, "but they'll get you to the other side of the chasm. I can keep Logan preoccupied while you talk to the other one." "How?" asked Ben. "How are you going to stand up the whole army of zombies?" "Why, dear, isn't it obvious?" "After all," Peg grinned utterly, "Logan is the only one with the army of zombies at his disposal." Chapter 34. "Are you sure about this?" Ben asked. "Not at all," Bobby answered, "but we have to try to end this peacefully. But I think other Ben is the key to that. I just have to reach him. There's more ways than one, right?" Ben peered over the ramparts of the lava-filled chasm below, and beyond that Logan's waiting army. Ben penned in for the moment, but sure to release soon. "Better you than me," he said. "I've always wanted to try Elytra, but those aren't exactly the ideal circumstances." Bobby turned, showing off the wings she wore on her back. Ben claimed they originated from the end, but even more fearsome dimension than the nether. And right now, they were Bobby's best chance of crossing the chasm unseen and hopefully reaching other Ben before Logan's assault began. But first they needed to wait for Peg's distraction. It would be hard to miss. As other Ben placed the final stone block of the bridge, Peg emerged from the bastion as the back was zombified piglets, hundreds of them. They filed out of the structure and onto a makeshift bridge, not much following Peg as moving to fill space. Ben suspected he would some of them locked up for a very long time. "Oi, Logan," she cried. "You want to talk? Let's talk." "She's got his attention," said Ben. "Now's your chance." "Wish me luck," she said, and climbing atop the ramparts, she jumped. Bob was soaring through the sky. She had a lot of new experiences lately, but nothing else compared to the sensation of flying. Layla appeared, but this time to join her flying by her side. Bobby laughed, enjoying the moment despite its circumstances, but Logan's bridge was complete, and his army would not stay pinned for long. She had to act quickly. Logan's voice floated above. "Pig step Peggy, do you remember me?" "I'm afraid not," answered Peg. "But don't take it personally, dear. Some people simply aren't memorable." "How dare you?" "Just don't look up, Logan," Bobby mumbled to herself. "Just don't look up. Don't look up." He didn't look up, and after a few minutes of gliding, Bobby touched the ground safely and far into the chasm. He crouched low and kept up with the zombie pen. It was simple, wooden fence they used to corral the zombies in the subterranean tunnels. Other men stood beside it, Liza and Logan, hands gripping an axe. He was clearly waiting for Logan's signal to bring down the fence on one side, which would give the zombie unobstructed access to the bridge. "Benjamin," he said, "fancy meeting you here." Other Ben's eyes went wide, rolled face. "You," he said, "you're still following us?" He saw Layla hovering above Bobby. "You took the allay. I knew it was you. Why are you hounding us?" "Because I'm determined to stop Logan. I think you should help me." "Me?" Other Ben. "No, but I'm Logan's squire." "You're his servant," countered Bobby, "and I'm punching bag. I know how he treats you, Benjamin, but there's no excuses for it." "It's worth it," Other Ben said. "If he could teach me how to be a great adventurer like him." "You don't need him for that," said Bobby. "Look at what I've got." He held out a new sword, and Other Ben's mouth dropped. "Is that netherite?" he said, all in his voice. "And are you wearing a lytra?" "My friends and I are pretty successful adventurers too," said Bobby. "So join us. We'll show you the ropes and won't be jerks about it." "I can't just abandon him," Other Ben said. He sounded less certain. "He means well." "He really doesn't," said Bobby. He pulled a journal of the inventory. "What's that?" "It's his journal," said Bobby. He puts his words to exactly what he thinks. He flipped through the pages. "For example, Ben number 2 assignment. Useless in combat, useless crafting, an average zombie, and above average as zombie bait." "That isn't what Other Ben said. I don't." He goes on and compare you to an axolotl. If you don't think now, he's not a fan of axolotls. Other Ben considered his words for a long moment. His face cycled through a range of emotions. Then he landed on resolve. Bobby knew she'd convinced him. "You're right," said Other Ben. "I don't need Logan." "That's great," said Bobby. "You won't regret this, Benjamin. Now here's the plan." But Other Ben didn't want to listen. "Logan," he screamed. "Hey, wait a minute." Other Ben wasn't listening to her anymore. He raised an axe. Logan shouted back. "I'm in the middle of a very ominous monologue right now, Ben." "Sorry, Logan, but I'm afraid this can't wait," shouted Other Ben. "Your army is revolting." "Sure, but they've always been pretty gross looking," said Logan. He chuckled and saw Other Ben's face. His eyes went wide. "Wait, you don't mean—" "Revolution," cried Other Ben. He brought his axe down to the nearest piece of fencing. Bobby saw what he was trying to do. Logan in the midpoint of the range, with Peg and their piglins in front of him. And now the army of pig zombies at his back. The zombies were his, but they weren't loyal to him. They would treat him like any other venture. In other words, they treat him like breakfast. It wasn't a bad plan, Bobby had to admit. With limited room to maneuver, even Logan could last forever after a wave of hostile mobs. And he turned back to look on Peg. She would have a golden opportunity to strike him down. Yes, it's a brilliant move, if you don't take care of how many zombies were destroyed in the process. But Bobby cared very much. "No," she cried. "Stop. We can end this peacefully." And the end was too late. The first wave of zombies already approaching Logan. "Ben, you fool," he cried. "You'll pay for this." The zombies moved quickly, and Logan was quicker. He ducked his first blow, and the zombie struck a zombified piglin by accident. The zombified piglin squealed in rage, and his anger seemed to be spread throughout the assembled creatures. "Oh no," Bobby said. This instant before chaos broke out. It was war now, a war between zombies and zombified piglins, and Bobby feared that none of them would make it out alive. Chapter 35. Ben looked on the scene of carnage, chaos, and the likes of which he'd never seen before. Zombified piglins were attacking zombies. Zombies were hitting zombified piglins. Logan was striking out at the thing that got in his reach. Peg was howling with despair each time piglin was struck. Bobby was at the back of the zombie horde, dropping blocks of trap as many zombie villagers as she could. Other Ben was waving his axe around and shouting insults at Logan, some of which were almost enough to make Ben blush. Bobby's plan was to drive a wedge between Logan and Other Ben, and it clearly worked a little too well. At Ben's shoulder, Johnny grunted. "You want in on the big battle?" Ben asked. "Well, forget it. That's the kind of fight that nobody wins." All the same, Ben needed to do something. If he knew Bobby she'd be throwing herself into the fray, all in an effort to prevent his zombified neighbors from getting injured. And between Logan's sword and piglin claws from those neighbors, and definitely going up to take some damage, Ben realized that he could help. Oh, he could help. He couldn't prevent the damage from occurring, but at the right positions, he could heal the zombies before they were destroyed. Ben laughed at his brilliance. He then groaned at the realization he actually planning to heal blood-crazed undead hostile mobs. Things that had been a lot simpler before he met Bobby and Johnny, that was for sure. Ben rushed downstairs to see the chest Peg had set up near the brewing stand. There were plenty of potions on hand, using dark purple potions of harmony, which he was looking for. Copious gunpowder he used to make them into splash potions. While the potions were brewing, he checked on the other chest for anything else that would use in battle, and then Ben saw something his heart was soaring. Peg had gold ingots, and she had a lot of gold ingots. Ben was always loved the look of gold. The way it glittered, it wasn't as nice as emerald, but it was really plenty nice. These days, however, gold was a whole new value. Combined with an apple Bobby had given him another, she could graft the golden apple they needed to cure Johnny. But just then the front door slammed open and picks up Peggy's stored bastion. "I can explain," Ben said, and opened the chest. "I don't care what you take," Peg said. "It's all gone wrong. All my plans, all my hopes, piglin utopia here in the overworld, reduced to ash." Peg leveled a darkly intense look. "No, I don't care what you take," he said, "as long as you leave the wither skulls to me." Ben didn't love the sound of that, but then he didn't much like Peg from the start. "She trusted you, you know," he said to her. Bobby didn't. It takes a lot of her to trust an adventurer. He saw right through the overlords. He saw through me, and then meant she could see I'm motivated by all the wrong things. She showed me a better way. Her compassion makes the world a better place, and you used it against her. It's easy to be compassionate when you're young, Peg said. She rummaged through the old chest of bones. But this world disappoints all of us in the end. It would help your friend to grow up a little. Now, if you excuse me, Logan appears to have an upper hand out there, and if I'm going down, it's going to be a blaze of glory, and all people yearn talking for years. It won't come to that, said Ben. We've beaten him before. We'll beat him again. Peg paused her looting and look over her shoulder, raise an eyebrow. I thought you were suspicious, worldly one, but it seems your naive friend is rubbing off on you. I hope you're right, Ben said. She needs me out there. Moving quickly, he grabbed the splash potion and he began brewing and turning to the crafting table. There she bought 1 apple and 8 gold ingots. In no time at all, he held a golden apple in his hands. Finally, Ben steeled himself for chaos, and then he ran out the door into the fray. If anything, the scene was more chaotic and ground level than it appeared to be above, and he watched a zombie villager suffer a brutal attack from his pickling opponent. Ben wasted no time, tossing a potion off harming the zombie villager, ensuring that it wouldn't be destroyed. As an undead mob, the zombie would have found the healing potion toxic, but a harming potion quickly undid the piglin's damage. Ben worked his way through the crowd, tossing his potion as it went. Then the undead mobs pulling on an aggro. He was attacked only a few times, and he found it easy to duck the attacks and lose himself in the crowd. Eventually, he made his way to Bobby. What are you doing? She asked. I'm keeping your neighbors from being destroyed. Thank me later, he said. But you can thank me now for this. He held out a golden apple. Bobby's eyes went wide. He went and lunged forward, wrapped her arms around it. Ben, you're amazing. The LA chirped happily. I know, he said. Then, as Bobby pulled out a brace, he took the apple with her hand and knocked back an attacking piglin with her sword. Ben laughed. You're not so bad yourself, but we need to stop this mess. It looks like Peg might have an idea, Bobby said. Look, Ben looked to see Peg building some side of the base of the bastion. What did she say a few minutes ago? Something about a blaze of glory? Oh no, Ben said. I know what she's making. What? Said Bobby. What is it? No time, they said. We have to stop her now. Ben tried to hurry. There's too many bodies between them and Peggy. She dodged the zombie swipe attack as Peg placed the final piece of soul's hand. She slashed an attacking piglin as she went for the first skull in the face. The skull in place atop the sand, and then suddenly Logan loomed before him. You, he said, and his eyes dropped to Ben and Bobby. And you. I should have known you'd be here. Don't you ever get tired of messing with me? Yell at us later, said Ben. Let us pass now. Don't you see what Peggy's building? As Ben said the words, Peg put on the second wither skull in position. She wouldn't be that reckless, said Logan. She wouldn't build a wither on her doorstep, would she? But the trio watched. Peg step Peggy did just that. With the addition of the third and final skull, her build shuddered to life. Ben grabbed his crossbow. We need to strike now, he said, before it's fully awake. He began peppering the mob with arrows. Logan noticed right away. She looked up at him, mournful look in her eyes. It's too late, said Peg. It's all gone wrong. This wither will erase my mistakes here, and all of you. She took her head. I'm done with the overworld. I'm going to the nether, and this time I'm never coming back. Logan shot an arrow at his bow and lodged in her armor, and Peg scowled. A brat until the end, aren't you? Logan, shouted Ben. Shoot the wither, not the old woman, you big llama. We're running out of time. Yet Ben's arrows seemed to have no effect on the wither, which was growing larger in passing seconds. It can't be hurt until it explodes, said Logan. Explodes? Bobby's eyes went wide. Peg, don't do this, she cried. We can still end this peaceful. The wither exploded as it awakened, partially obliterating the bridge as it came fully in its power. Peg, distracted by Logan's attacks, had gotten far enough away. The old adventurer was thrown off the crumbling ledge and into the chasm below. Zombies and piglets followed Peg, toppling in the lava. No, cried Bobby, but there's nothing of them to do. The wither rose into the air and it shrieked as it turned its 3 sinister faces onto them. Chapter 36. As a rule, Bobby wasn't eager to follow Logan's commands, but the boy yelled, scatter, she didn't think twice. Bobby fought her way across the bridge, and she left her sword in inventory, using only her fist, still reluctant to cause any major damage to the zombies that surrounded her. Even so, she found herself punching and slapping, forcing the mobs away from her desperate scramble off the bridge. The wither was tossing the skulls, seemingly at random, and they exploded on impact. Another piece of the bridge was blown to bits, mere blocks away from Bobby. She screamed and ducked her head and kept moving. The next skull was even closer. It blasted poor Lila right out of the air. Bobby felt her heart breaking at the sight, and it was all over before she could do anything. She had thought the gentle mob couldn't be hurt. None of the zombies have seemed to notice her, but the wither was more powerful and more evil than anything she'd fought before. Other Ben stood at the far side of the bridge and saw the ground where Bobby couldn't have to worry about the floor being blown under her. He expended a hand to her. Come on, Other Ben, said Under Ben. You're almost there. You can make it. Happened so fast. 1 second, Other Ben was there, hand outstretched, cheering her on. The next second, a skull fell at his feet. Exploded on impact. Other Ben flew back and landed at the base of a nearby mountain. It was a nearly direct hit. He didn't look good. Bobby wasted no time. He swung a diamond pickaxe into the mountain face, carving a small cavern of shelter, and she dragged Under Ben inside. Are you okay? Asked Bobby. Where does it hurt? Everywhere, said Other Ben, wincing. Serves him right, said Logan, who came in to stand beside them. This whole mess is his fault. Now's not the time to blame, Bobby snapped. And where's my Ben? He ran the other way, Logan answered. Into the bastion. Other Ben coughed. He's got wither, Logan said. He's a goner, unless you have any milk. I don't, Bobby said, frantically combining an inventory. Just apples and this. She held up a golden apple. Logan whistled. That might do the trick if it helps him regenerate health faster with the withering drains it. But I need it, Bobby said. It's for my brother. Suit yourselves, Logan said. He chuckled. You're not as solid as I thought. Maybe what it takes to be a adventurer after all. You could join what's left of the overworld overlords. Logan meant it as a compliment, but the words are revolting to Bobby. As they brought her back to her senses, she could never let someone else suffer, but she had other help. She felt the glow after the bench, seemed to feel better immediately. That was amazing, he said. I can feel it working. That's good, Bobby said, but keep your voice down. That thing is still out there. She peered out of the cave and watched as the wither scanned the area of the new targets, and it didn't seem interested in attacking zombified mobs all around it. The piglins and zombies had stopped fighting each other, too. It looked like one great big happy undead family out there. Bobby saw some familiar faces among the horde. Her neighbors survived the carnage, and they were right here. They were almost close enough to reach. She didn't dare try anything while the wither floated menacingly above them. Her neighbors were still lost to her, for now. Epilogue. The wither hadn't attacked any of the undead mobs, which Logan found fascinating. He was already wondering if there was some way to use his advantage. If Wither head of the zombie army, that would be stuff of legends. But then Logan remembered. He didn't have zombie army anymore. His soldiers scattered in every direction once the Wither had blown a few holes through the volcano, and since they were wearing iron helmets, the sunlight wouldn't affect them. They would go pretty much anywhere. Logan sighed. It would be a lot of hard work to round up again, and Logan didn't love hard work. Still, he came out of the disaster better than anybody else. Pig said Peggy almost definitely perished in the lava below. So technically, he accomplished what he came here to do. And he saw the girl Bobby shed a few tears for the allay that had been following her around. Logan moved a little closer to hear what Ben and Bobby were talking with each other. I don't like it, Ben said to Bobby. What to like? Bobby replied. Look around you, Ben. It's apocalyptic. Logan took another look around. Pegs bastions, remnants of the former glory. The wide stone bridge of the battle had taken place with nothing but shattered fragments of stone craters, pocket mark of the soil where withered explosive skulls had landed. The pet zombie groaned, and the zombie made a scene that only seemed bleaker. It's only the beginning, Bobby continued. That wither flew off, and 2 undead armies went with it. They're roaming the countryside, a deadly danger to anyone they come across. And when the sunlight won't keep people safe from the zombies, Ben said, thanks to him. Logan scowled. It was a brilliant plan, and you know it. He crossed his arm. And even I have to admit that things have gotten out of hand, and riches and fame, power. If the overworld gets trampled and scorched, that doesn't help me. He grinned. But beating the wither, that's a pretty good for my reputation. Other Ben frowned at Logan. Well, maybe you feel responsible for all this, but I do. He turned to the others. I'll do anything to help fix this. Logan scoffed. Anything you can do is going to be very much help. That's enough, Bobby said sharply. If this is going to have any hope of working, we have to support each other. We have to at least try. So your mind is made up, asked Ben. We're really doing this. We are really doing this, Bobby extended a hand. Logan, Benjamin, welcome to the team. But the zombie kid grumbled, and Ben did too. But Logan laughed. Welcome to my team, you mean, he said, as he squeezed Bobby's hand and hardly shook it. Follow my lead. I do everything I say, Logan grinned darkly. And you might all survive this adventure after all. And that is a little sneak peek and the end of Minecraft Zombies Return. Oh my goodness. This was honestly a fantastic story. All in all, a fantastic story. All in all, like, great. And also, it's a good lead into the 3rd Minecraft Zombies book, which I don't know, or I don't think it's out yet. But a quick look up on Google wouldn't hurt, would it? So let's go quickly onto Google, or as I like to call it, OpGX. Minecraft Zombies 3 book. Minecraft Zombies 3. Diary of the Wimpy Zombie. Diary of a Wimpy Zombie. Zombies goes to camp. Mob Food Master. But if I look at Minecraft Zombies 2, I'm just going to immediately get this one, aren't I? Oop. There is a Minecraft Zombies 3. It's called Minecraft Zombies Unleashed. It is... Oh, wow, that's really pretty. Yeah, I could get it right now if I wanted to. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's all cool and all. And that's probably going to be the next story not next story we read. That's going to be a story we're going to read down the line. But yeah, hope you guys have a super fantastic, wonderful day. Be polite, be efficient, make sure to like, comment, and Oh, of course. I'm kidding with you. Now it's time for... Stonseys Reading Corner, where today we are learning about the German Wirehaired Pointer. The German Wirehaired Pointer. It's like the other German pointer, the German Short-Haired Pointer from last episode, if you haven't seen it. But this one's a little more fluffy. Look at him. He's so fluffy. It probably means he needs to be groomed a lot. You know, like given a lot of brushing and stuff. But we'll learn about that, so I can't make fun of a dog until I know their history, of course. So, when game bird shooting became accessible to persons of the average means, demand for both specialist and versatile hunting breeds soared. The quest for versatile breeds reached its height in Germany, and the German Wirehound Pointer represents one of the most successful results. Hunters wanted a dog that would locate and point upland game, track wounded game, confront tough vermin, retrieve waterfowl from the land or water, also function as a companion and a watchdog. It developed to be a close worker of any kind of terrain. Though a rough, wiry coat was needed to hunt these dense brambles, an important ancestor was the poodle pointer, itself a combination of an old German poodle and a pointer, which was crossed with an early German short-haired pointer, Griffin, Stichelhaar, and Polish water dog. The breed, known as the Drathar in Germany, has since become the most popular hunting breed in Germany. Nonetheless, it is not recognized here officially until the 1920s, the same time where wirehair became to America. The German Wirehaired Pointer was recognized in America in the 1959 and has never gained the popularity that they enjoy in their native land. Oh, so I think this is like a little German-only dog. But honestly, I think I've seen a dog like this before in the Americas, so maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, the temperament of the German Wirehaired Pointer is both a rugged bird dog and an unamiable companion. It has the energy to hunt for hours, so it must be given a daily outlet lest it become destructive. A responsive breed, although it tends to be stubborn when it gains a guarding instinct, so it tends to be aloof, being protective towards strangers as well as strange dogs. It's generally good, if sometimes overly boisterous with children. It is ideal for the outdoor-oriented person wanting to be tireless, weatherproof, and intelligent partner. So basically, they're very protective, but they're not very smart, which is okay. I have a very smart little Bubba's over on my bed right now who's looking at me and being like, "What are you doing, Dad?" That's my dog, Roscoe. He's a basset hound. So these dogs have a lot in common. Ain't that right, Bubby? Oh, he's lying down now. Okay, cool. Ignore me then. Now, for these little cute dogs like I have right here, you need to know the upkeep. The upkeep of these dogs is the exercise of the daily requirement for this energetic hunter. At least an hour a day of exertion is recommended, but the ideal situation would combine exercise and hunting and a chance to run and explore a field. As a breed that thrives on human companionship, it does best as a house dog with access to the outdoors. Like most harsh coats, some minimal hand stripping may occasionally be needed to maintain a sleek outline. Otherwise, brushing about once a week will suffice. GWPs are low shedders. For their health, the major concern is CHD. The minor concerns are hyperthyroidism. They are occasionally seen with seizures, entropy, elbow dysplasia, heart disease, gastric torsion. Probably because they keep their nose to the ground so much. Their suggested test is hip, elbow, cardiac, thyroid. Their lifespan is 12 to 14 years. The same thing with the German short hair. And the form and function is a sturdy build hunter. A German wire-haired pointer should be able to hunt all the way through all types of cover. It's slightly longer than all tall, enabling the gait to free and smooth. The weather-resistant, straight, wiry coat is a central breed characteristic. The outer coat is about 1 to 2 inches long and long enough to protect against brambles, but not so long that the outline of the dog is obscured. The eyebrows, beard, and whiskers are a medium length. The undercoat is thick in winter for warmth and thin summer. Oh, so they call it a mustache and a beard. That's really cute. Now, you want to know at a glance of this? This dog has an energy level and the exercise requirements of 5, so again, like the short-haired dog, you're probably going to want to have this dog when you want to go running or hunting. Their playfulness is a 4, so they're pretty silly dogs. Their affection levels is 3, so they're kind of kind. Friendliness towards other dogs and friendliness towards strangers is a 2. Like I said, they're pretty protective. But the friendliness towards their pets is a 3. Like it said earlier, they can easily be distracted and protect another pet. There are 3 when it comes to ease of training, so not the easiest, but not the most difficult either. Their watchdog ability is a 5, so you already know this dog could defend you at any point. Protection ability is a 4, so they not only can they protect you, but they can also attack back if need be. The grooming requirements is a 3, which is the highest we've seen so far, which makes sense because these dogs are 60% hair. And of course, their cold and heat tolerance is a 3, which I don't think is going to change for any of these dogs anytime soon, honestly, or at least I haven't seen one yet. Their average weight is 45 to 75 pounds between both breeds, but for male height, they're 24 to 26 inches, and for female, they're smaller, but not under 22 inches. So 23. I just guess they didn't want to write down 23. Next time, you guys will be learning about, well, you'll find out in the next episode, won't you? Of course, me being a mean head again. So I hope you guys have a super fantastic, wonderful day. Be polite, be efficient, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And that was Minecraft Zombies. Now, before we go, actually, I do want to talk about a little more about the little thing I said earlier about how, oh, I want to do bookmarks. Now, I actually made a post on it. Let me go grab that real quick. Let me go grab this real quick so maybe you guys can see it better. This one should. Yep, okay, here. So this is going to be, so this is the bookmark I have right now. It shows her, Johnny. I tried my best to draw like a little heartbeat thing, that type of thing. And yeah, and this is the book I have in my hand. And of course, this is going to be the next book that we're going to show off sooner rather than later. This is the next book that we're reading, Olivia, which is a sequel. So we basically read 2 sequels in a row, by the way, if you couldn't tell. This is a sequel to a story that we read before titled not Olivia. The story that we read before is called, this is a sequel of the book titled Dollhouse, which we read before on the channel, and honestly, I thought that was a really decent, scary book about a girl named Olivia. So, of course, the sequel of the book is titled Olivia, which we'll be reading next time. So, yeah, I hope you guys have a super fantastic, wonderful day. Be polite, be efficient, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Do tell me if you guys want those bookmarks, and yeah, see you guys next time.